What's up, guys? Mickle here, and we have some very exciting information to go over in this video. John Deaton just filed his motion to the SEC trying to kick him out of this case, and guys, John Deaton absolutely flames the SEC in this filing. He tears apart the SEC's core argument piece by piece, but not only that, but he goes out of his way to expose the SEC and their corruption regarding the Ethereum free pass speech. Guys, John Deaton filed an absolutely beautiful filing to the court today where he rips the SEC to shreds. In this video, I'm going to be showing you all the best parts of John Deaton's filing that you are not going to want to miss. Guys, this thing was absolutely awesome. You do not want to miss this. We also got a brand new filing from Ripple today, albeit less exciting than John Deaton's. One of the things I really liked about Ripple's filing is you can tell they are really turning up the pressure against the SEC. I want to show you guys a few lines from Ripple's filings that you're definitely going to want to see because, guys, Ripple is directly exposing the SEC for trying to hide information from the public, and the SEC made one big contradiction that Ripple directly calls out. Make sure you guys stick around for that. Last of all, at the end of the video, I want to show you guys a few very interesting quotes from Brad Garlinghouse that he dropped in a recent interview. Guys, Brad Garlinghouse talks about when he thinks this case is going to end and how he thinks Ripple's doing. Make sure to stick around till the end of the video to see that. You are not going to want to miss it. Like always, if you guys are new to this channel or come here all the time, please take a second to hit the like and subscribe button down below. It goes such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys are ever looking for a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out the link in the description below. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. Real quick, if you guys want to win 6 free stocks, make sure to check out the link for MOO-MOO down in the description below. If you sign up with MOO-MOO and deposit just $1, you will win 6 free stocks, and each one could be worth up to $1,000. So make sure to check that out if you want some free stocks. So I wanted to start out this video and show you guys a very interesting tweet by Attorney Fred. He put this out earlier today, and he was on the money with this and really exposes the SEC for something not a lot of people know about. Attorney Fred tweeted out, "What's so funny about this?" And when he says funny, he means depressing, is that the SEC is running a node on the XRPL, thereby contributing to the sales of unregistered securities as alleged by itself. So Attorney Fred makes a great point here and points out something I didn't even know, but Attorney Fred is always on the money with his facts. He points out the fact that the SEC is currently running a validator on the XRPL, so therefore by doing this, they are literally contributing to the sales of unregistered securities as alleged by the SEC itself. It's so ironic that the SEC is accusing Ripple of unregistered securities, but meanwhile, they are literally contributing to the validation power that is helping the sale of this unregistered security occur. It really shows that the SEC has a complete lack of confidence in their own case. If the SEC really believed XRP was an unregistered security, they obviously would not be contributing validation power to the XRPL, which is allowing this sale of unregistered securities to happen. The SEC also would have likely issued a cease and desist letter to all parties using XRP saying these parties are using illegal securities. Instead, the SEC is pursuing this court case as a baseless claim. They're literally pushing theories to the court that have absolutely no evidence to support them, and that's why the SEC is currently in such a bad spot in their current litigation effort against Ripple. Let's keep moving though, because we definitely have some very big motions in the current Ripple SEC case that we need to go over in detail. First of all, out of James K. filing, he tweeted out, "Ripple defendants object to the SEC's request to impose an unprecedented level of secrecy on these proceedings by sealing all identifying information in the Daubert motions regarding its 5 pro-offered expert witnesses." So essentially what's going on here in plain English is the SEC is trying to hide the identity of its expert witnesses. Now, the reason the SEC is trying to do this is because the SEC is getting severely outclassed on the expert witness issue. Ripple has very high level, very astute expert witnesses, and while I don't have enough time to get into each specific one in this video, I have already seen a lot of different attorneys following this case comment that they have been extremely impressed with the quality of witnesses Ripple was able to bring in order to testify on their behalf. On the other hand, the SEC looks like they're having a serious dilemma with their expert witnesses. Not only are their expert witnesses not impressive in the slightest, but the SEC has a huge issue where a lot of these experts have worked on the SEC on multiple other cases, are being paid by the SEC, and are hardly blockchain experts. Because of this, the SEC has taken the very, very unique approach to block out all the information of their experts so the public can't realize that their experts aren't really experts at all. Now, unfortunately for the SEC, we're all over this. We know that the SEC just hired some random Joe Schmoes who are willing to say anything the SEC wanted them to say, and because of this, the SEC knows that if they expose the actual work history, the actual qualifications of their experts, they're going to get a lot of pushback. And because of this, they filed this motion essentially trying to cover up all the information of their experts, despite the fact that Judge Torres already told the SEC that they're not allowed to do this and their redactions have to be narrowly tailored. Now, luckily for us, Ripple is all over it, and Ripple calls out the SEC. Ashley Prosper tweeted out, Ripple files this objection to the SEC's request to seal all their experts' identifying information, including all educational and all employment history. Right here, Ripple hits home, and Ripple says, having chosen to bring this case, the SEC cannot litigate it behind a veil of secrecy. And right here, this is the most important line that Ripple brings out. The SEC brought this case against Ripple. The SEC asked for this. Now the SEC realized how poorly they're doing and wants to hide all the information. The SEC realized they backed themselves into a corner, and they're trying to get out of it by hiding everything from the public. The fact of the matter is, though, the SEC chose to go down this path, so the fact that they think they can suddenly just hide everything from the public, try to do everything in secrecy, is nothing short of absurd, but unfortunately very classic for this agency. Let's keep moving and get into the very exciting news that was just dropped today. This was out of James K. Filan. Amici file response to the SEC's objection to their motion to participate in the expert challenge and to the SEC's motion to revoke their status and to bar John Deaton from all further proceedings. So what's going on here is John Deaton finally got to answer to the SEC, who is essentially trying to kick John Deaton out of this case. The SEC is pissed that John Deaton got involved and is representing XRP holders, and because of that, the SEC is lashing out, and they tried to kick John Deaton completely out of this case and bar him from all further proceedings. Well, just today, John Deaton got to file his response to this, and guys, the SEC made a huge mistake here. They poked a bear, and now they are getting attacked. John Deaton exposes not only the SEC for their horrible arguments on why XRP is a security, but he also goes out of his way to expose the Ethereum free pass speech. Let's jump into the filing, though. You guys are going to love this. So first of all, John Deaton starts out strong, and I think he does an excellent job of really explaining to the court how big of a deal this case really is. This is so important for the court to understand that this is not just some one-off case that doesn't matter. This case is going to affect cryptocurrency regulations in the US going forward, and that's why it's so important that the court gets it right. John Deaton wrote, this case represents a significant regulatory overreach by the SEC. If this court were to adopt the SEC's theory regarding XRP, it would dramatically change the regulatory landscape for the entire cryptocurrency industry. Very well said, and it very simply puts in perspective how big of a deal this case really is. He then goes on to point out something very interesting, which is that the SEC wants to throw retail investors out of this case, but the SEC itself is the one who dragged us into this case. The SEC very easily could have gone after just Ripple, but they chose to say all XRP was a security. By doing this, the SEC purposely dragged retail investors into this case, so he's saying it's absolutely absurd that the SEC now wants to kick retail investors out of this case. He then goes on to say that the SEC's claim that all XRP is a security is a baseless theory, and even points out that during the very first substantive hearing, Judge Netburn questions the SEC implausible theory that every individual in the world who is selling XRP is committing a Section 5 violation. Guys, this is a huge thing to point out by John Deaton, because he points out that the court themselves is extremely skeptical of the fact that XRP itself per se is a security. He then later on uses the SEC's own words against them and quotes Hester Peirce, and guys, I thought this part was awesome because it really describes how absurd it is for the SEC to be calling the crypto tokens themselves securities. John Deaton wrote, the SEC's representation theory constitutes an unlawful expansion of the Howey test. Commissioner Hester Peirce agreed that the SEC's enforcement lawyers are precariously expanding Howey as applied to XRP when she publicly criticized the SEC's theory by stating, saying what we have done now is say that the orange groves are kind of like, as an example, represent the security. I love what John Deaton does here because not only does he use a quote directly from an SEC commissioner, which essentially proves that Ripple never had fair notice because the SEC commissioner herself is disagreeing with the SEC's case, but he also uses an example that is extremely familiar to the court, and that's because the Howey test is essentially what all securities law is based of. He takes the example of the orange groves versus the oranges themselves and directly compares those to cryptocurrencies. What John Deaton is pointing out here is, yes, the sales of some digital assets can be seen as a security, but that does not mean the digital asset itself is a security. He breaks this down in a very simple way. He compares this to the orange groves and Howey, which is something the court is extremely comfortable with and will really help them see the differentiation between the sale of a digital asset and the digital asset itself. And if you guys thought that was bad for the SEC, just wait, because it actually gets way worse. Take a look at this tweet from Ashley Prosper. She tweeted out, "Oh damn, I'm betting the SEC is regretting poking the bear that is John Deaton. He fully exposed the SEC to Judge Torres and brought her attention to the issues she may have been missing all this time. Check out the footnote below." John Deaton wrote, and this was directly in the filing, and guys, this is where it gets bad for the SEC. While at the SEC, Hinman was also a profit-sharing partner at Simpson Thacher and member of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, who exclusively promotes Ethereum. The SEC's ethics chief informed Hinman he was criminally barred from contacting his partners at Simpson Thacher, although he continued to do so. Right here, John Deaton is essentially bringing ETHgate to the court and showing the court why the SEC has been so hypocritical on this issue. And one thing that is so funny, and hypocritical is not just my word, Judge Nepper directly called the SEC hypocritical on this issue, but one thing that is even worse for the SEC is they're actually about to file their objection to not handing over the Bill Hinman Ethereum free pass speech to the court tomorrow. So right before the SEC has to file this objection to not handing over these documents, John Deaton drops a bomb on the court and directly exposes the Ethereum free pass speech and why Bill Hinman did what he did, why the SEC is being so weird, so hypocritical on this issue. Guys, the SEC is not going to be happy when they see this because they just got exposed for their corruption in a case they brought against Ripple. So guys, there are so many more gems in this filing that we don't have enough time to get into right now, but you know all week we're going to be breaking this thing down and going over all the things that John Deaton snuck in there that will likely go under the radar. So make sure to check out the rest of the videos coming out later this week because I'm sure we're going to find all kinds of hidden gems in this thing. I wanted to point out though, Attorney Bill, Attorney Fred, and Jeremy Hogan all came out and said that this was their favorite filing to date, and John Deaton absolutely killed it. He did a tactically brilliant move by bringing up the Ethereum free pass speech. This is something that Ripple really wasn't allowed to do from my understanding, so John Deaton has already played a critical role in this case in exposing the corruption going on at the SEC. Guys, the SEC made a huge mistake by bringing XRP holders into this, and John Deaton is bringing that to the forefront. Make sure if you guys are on Twitter, you give a big thank you to John Deaton. He really deserves it and is doing so much for XRP holders and Ripple in this case. Last of all, and I don't have enough time to play you guys the videos, hopefully we can break them down in more detail later this week, but Brad Garlinghouse was actually in an interview where he said worst case scenario, the SEC versus Ripple case is going to 2023, but he is convinced it will have a resolution in 2023. Guys, I know this thing is going on forever, but we are nearing the end. And he also went out and said he is confident Ripple will win the case. Guys, if Brad Garlinghouse has confidence they're going to win, I have more confidence than ever that they will prevail. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. But for now, Mickle out.